Right, I'm here at Matthew's. Say hello, Matthew.
Hello.
Measuring up for the TD5 so I know what to, well, where everything should be, and also to save me write it down. So, bulkhead to rear of cover. I can get away with the cover. So right against the lower part. What's that, 33-ish? Yeah, okay. So that's one. Next one. Gearbox. I'll shout this one out. I think they are the same between Disco and Defender, so I don't think this will be any surprise, this one. So, face to face, 76 centimetres. And then rear prop, just to make sure you haven't got a different diff. I think it's only the 110s that had the short nose. So, with a bit of extension, 72 centimetres. Should I measure anything else while I'm here? Edge of, or back of driver's side gearbox or transfer box mount to the start of the trailing arm mount is 36.5. And I think, Matthew, that is all. Thank you kindly.
Not a problem.
Right, so back at my Defender. So let's measure to the lower part. He says, if we can get there, because of all the wires. It's a bit dark in the workshop today because the power's gone off. So I'm trying to do everything without much power. Right, so what we got? 25. So the TD5 sits a hell of a lot further forward. So yeah, it would be pretty much where the first injector is the back of the engine. But then we have got all this lot at the front. So, right, so we definitely know it's got to sit a lot further forward in the engine bay. There you go, the gearbox out of the Disco. 76 and a bit, so yes, it's probably just my measuring. It was driver's side, wasn't it? I measured it from, so it'd be here. Yeah. So, it's the same length, which tells me that the props are going to be the same, the gearbox mounts are all going to be the same. I don't really need to get under it and measure that. Right, so now we know. Right, just because I'm going to get underneath and just double check what we've got here, just to be on the safe side. So, back of gearbox mount to the start of the trailing mount, 35 centimetres, and prop length, 68. So, I can't remember how that compared, but I'll have a look. Right, so, Matt's TD5. The mount to the trailing arm mount, 36, mine's 35. Obviously, slightly difference in welding, I'm not worried about a centimetre. Prop, Matt's is 72, mine's 68. Now, 4 centimetres, it's quite a lot in prop terms, but I suppose it would make a difference with suspension. It would make a difference with where it's sitting on the mounts, because there is quite a bit of movement to where you bolt it down. The holes are elongated, so I suppose that's probably okay. Gearbox length is the same. Bulkhead difference, mine's 25 from the back of the head to the bulkhead, and Matt's with the TD5 is 33, so it's a lot further forward. But, well, I say but, that was with the cover on. So let's have a measure of the cover versus the back of the head. Right, because I can't get the engine cover on at the minute, hopefully you'll be able to see with the pipe moved. There's the hole, and there's the hole that it bolts onto. So if we try and get them lined up, you can see the back of the cover is pretty much at the head. So we are, what was it, 7 centimeters different. Overall engine lengths, let's have a measure of them. Right, so TD5, the actual engine, oh, it's missing a screw there. So let's go on that and we can add what that is. So it is 56 plus what? 56, say 57. Let's go back over here. Again, still dark. Right, on the 300, hang on. So the 300 back to back is 50. Plus you've got all this on the front that you haven't on the other one. So that's another 13. So 63 all in. And what did I say this was? Obviously this hasn't got none of the fittings on the front like the 300. So 63. This is 57. So it's actually a shorter engine. 57, 63. So yeah, we're pretty much the same length. Right, well that's worked out what we need then, isn't it? We need a Ashcroft TD5 gearbox. Now, I spoke to Mr. Ashcroft and I can change the input shaft on my one. Do I want to take mine apart to change that? Probably not. So I think I'm probably best buying another gearbox for a TD5 all done, and I'll sell my 300 and Ashcroft gearbox with hardly any miles on second hand. I also need to get an LOF clutch kit. Now that's a dual mass flywheel. A lot of, well I say a lot, I see a lot of things about going to single mass through LOF clutches, so we'll have a look at those as well. Right then, so today's the day we start stripping this down. First job I'm going to do is remove the snorkel, the windscreen bar, because I need to remove that to get the bonnet off. So I'll get the bonnet off, and then I'll look to remove the wings. I'm going to try and get them all off as one, so try and leave everything on there. The only thing I'm worried about is possibly the cage. We might have to undo the whole cage so it's loose and able to lift the front up to get them out of the way of the wings, but we'll see how we go. So first job, snorkel, crossbar, bonnet. I won't film it all, I'll just show you when it's done. Right, I got a bit carried away. Sorry about the noise, my neighbour is doing God knows what. But anyway, so we got all the front end pretty much tore down, bumpers off, grills off, wiring to the winch is out. Obviously the bumper's over there. Everything's off. So next we need to do is loosen the wings. I've done the front bolts, so they're loose there. But obviously I need to undo there, the cage, the bulkhead, and anywhere the inner arch is bolted. So yeah, I will crack on with that and come back shortly. Now the wings have gone, I've got nowhere to put my tea.
So we know Christmas is coming. If you get into debt for Christmas each year, then pre-planning is the better way to do it. Of course, you have to make sure you can cover this for Christmas that you've just had to. But the big thing I was going to say is many people, when we get debts, understandably, those who are the most concerned, the most worried, and in debt.
Right, well, engine's out. The boxes are down on a trolley, ready to come out tomorrow. I'll leave them there for tonight. I've taken all the floor and that out. As you can see, all the footwells are out. I've got to take all this out yet as well. I've got to give my mate back the centre box that he lent me. And then we can attack all that lot and make a start on preparing for the TD5 install. So that's another day done.
I love Saturday night. I kind of upstairs is all good ones, BPM plus old school drum and bass. For some reason, I just started all mellow and slow again, not mellow like this, but old school. And then within 20 minutes,
Right, we've had another day in here. We're not done yet, but just a quick catch up. I've laid out all the Discovery loom. The dashboard loom is humongous. There is no way I'm going to get this behind a Defender dash. So we're going to have other thoughts. At the moment, my thought is still to use the loom, but to make a dashboard. Now, you can buy aftermarket ones that almost like TD5 ones. They sit further away from the bulkhead, which means you can get more behind them. Or I get my friend to make one up that looks similar. It costs a few quid, but might be the better way to go. Over there is the wiring loom that come out of the Defender, and that's like got about 6 wires on it. I need to rewire the whole truck anyway, so I still think this could be the way. I'm going to put it all in and see how it sits and where we can secure it and where we can run it and go from there. I still don't know, but we have, that's the rear, well, the roof loom and rear loom separated all out and cable tied into the bundles and the way where it goes. That's the chassis loom. That's for the fuel pump, air suspension and ACE, etc. Obviously I'm not having any of that except, well, no, I probably won't even have the fuel pump because I'll be running a separate fuel pump because of where the tank is, but we've kept that for now. And I've stripped the inside. So we've got no wiring, loom in here, all that stuff down there is what goes up to the roof. The whole roof line's got to come down as well because we're going to get rid of that and carpet it or get a later roof lining. And yeah, everything's out. It's quite scary. That's the wires running to the rear battery, to the winch, because obviously the rear battery runs a winch. So they've just got to be kept an eye on and double checked. And also that's the fuel pump. This bit here is the fuel pump and fuel pipe. I was speaking to a friend last night who's done a couple of TD5 conversions, and he's used one of my friends has used an external Bosch pump inline. Another one has found a pump that goes inside the original tank under the seat here. So we'll investigate that. That might be the better way to go. But yeah, dashboard wiring is worrying me at the moment. Anyway, I'm gonna have a cup of tea, have a little think and carry on. Right, so this might not be as mad as I thought. I have used the original holes for now. I could make that good with the original panels, cut them out and put them around it to get all the wiring out. So we've got near side here, and then offside comes out there. We've got, obviously I've just cable tied it here, but the wiring's in. Obviously it's a lot longer, but that bit there is supposed to be here. Just got the disco stalks hanging on there. So my other thought was maybe I can make holes here, because this is single skin. So I could make holes here either side below the wiper motor there and have the wires coming out of there. That'll give us extra length so we won't have all this curled up. That can go in the right place. And it might just work, you know. It might just work. Right, these two ECUs, that one's the ABS one, that one's the ACE one. So we're gonna start trying to pull them out because we don't need either. Wish me luck. Well, I hope I've not ruined it. That is all the cut out wires. And this is what we've got left of the loom so far. I need to sort out this bit that goes on a D2 down the transmission tunnel to the window switches, etc. I need to bring them window switches forward up here so they can go behind the dashboard.
and just leave the seat wiring in case we want to put heated seats in or whatever. But they can be curled up behind the dashboard. But I want to get, as I say, the front window switches back up to the dash so it can go up round behind the stereo and stuff. So yeah, we've cut loads out. All the ABS, all the ACE, the power fold windows and the airbag. So I'm sure there's still some left, but I've kind of had enough for today. I've been on my knees all day, not in a good way. So I'm going to call it a day and come back tomorrow with a fresh set of limbs and see what else we can do. Right, well that's a load of wiring removed. The SRS ECU, power fold mirrors, ABS and ACE, the active cornering enhancement. So we've also cut out all the amp wiring, all the CD changer wiring. So I just hope what we have left makes the truck work. I've left all the tails on just in case I've cut anything else out I shouldn't. So now we're just waiting on the gearbox to arrive so we can offer it up. Right, we have another while on the loom, this time the roof loom on the Disco 2. It goes up the passenger side A-pillar and across the roof over to the rear lights. So we want to try and keep that. So we've cut out loads of wires. Stuff like the fuel flap release, because we don't need that. All the audio controls, because this had the jack plugs and buttons in the rear on the D2. So that's all come out. And a couple of other bits and pieces. Nothing too exciting. I've kept in courtesy lights. I've kept in obviously all the rear tail lights, the tow bar wiring, etc. Right, now to try and offer this up and see if it fits or how we can make it fit. Well, I'll leave this one here now. Nothing much can really happen until the gearboxes turn up. There's a couple of odd jobs, little things to do, which I'll film in the meantime and then save it for when the gearboxes are finally here. So thanks for watching. Like, subscribe and share, and I'll see you very soon in the next installment of the Defender, or we've got a video coming on the Range Rover, audio video, and a couple on, or one, sorry, on a couple of Smarts. So thanks guys, see you soon.